Today we'll be talking about single fathers. We have Roland here who will be discussing the struggles of being a single father. Please help me welcome Roland.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show. I'm so excited.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to have you here because I need to know. I mean, there's obviously single mothers, but I wanted to sort of shine light more on single fathers and how that's been. So, where do I even begin? Tell me the story. Tell me the story. So you have a daughter.
Yes.
Yeah. So
yes.
tell me more about her. How she? I know you love her to death. Literally, she's your handbag. Wherever you go, she comes.
Yeah.
Tell me more about her.
She's my princess. Yeah, she's 6 years now. I had custody when she was 6 months.
Right. Okay.
As a baby, the mom made some few mistakes and social services and stuff, came in.
Involved,
yeah, so they basically took her and I had to basically fight for her.
Yeah.
It wasn't an easy work for me to just get her. It was really hard. It was really tough. But she's 6 years now. In year 2, she just started year 2 on Thursday. So
and she's so beautiful.
She's so big girl now.
Your twin. Like, she is literally your twin. She's so beautiful. So you had custody of her when she was 6 months.
Yes.
How was the relationship with you and the mother?
So basically, we were cool.
Okay.
We were cool. I'll put it like that. There was
cool.
there was no, title to it.
So so it wasn't a relationship.
Yeah.
You wasn't really dating. It was just, I guess it just, happened.
Just playing around.
Yeah.
And then
playing around a little bit too much, but
and
then she obviously got pregnant.
Yes.
So during that time, was she considering, should you guys maybe be together, or was it you knew from the start that you didn't really want to?
I think she really wanted us to work together. But the question mark on that, it was that she had already moved on. 3 months before I found out that she was pregnant.
Right, okay.
So she didn't really come to me straight away. She kind of went through a friend of mine.
Yeah.
So she was in two minds.
Yeah.
She wasn't sure if it was 100% me or the other person that she was with at that time.
Yeah.
So when she spoke to my friend, they had a discussion with me and I said, you know what? So far as my name is in there, I'm going to be there for that child regardless.
Yeah.
So if it's 50%, I'll rather do my bit for that 50% to make sure that obviously my child, if it happens to be my child, I'm there and I'm not missing anything.
Yeah.
So I was actually there from the beginning,
regardless
even though we're not
if it
together.
was, if she was yours or not.
Yes.
So did you consider taking a DNA test just for the sake of it, or just for that's it, hands down? Or
yeah, I think it was too early for that. So
right,
I was thinking, okay, maybe after the child is born and everything, I'll just look into that. But yeah, so before she was born, I had to travel to Ghana, but I had already, luckily, the time that she was supposed to be born was supposed to be in March. And then I said, okay, I'm going to go to Ghana 2 weeks before the due date. Yeah. And then, unfortunately, the mom, had a lot of, her blood pressure was getting higher. There was a lot of things that, I think she was stressing. Yeah. So they said they had to do a C-section and take the child out. So instead of coming on 8th of March, she was actually born 1st of February.
Oh, wow.
So they had to do a C-section on the mother to basically, take her out. Yeah. And I was there throughout all of that, but so obviously.
So you didn't go to Ghana at the time? Or?
No, because the time that I was supposed to go was on the 14th of February, and she was born the 1st of February. So I was there for the first 2 weeks, and then I went to Ghana. So when I was in Ghana, that's when obviously the whole drama was happening behind the scenes when I was there. So we're gonna get into it. So.
Okay, tell me. I need to know what the drama that happened.
Yeah. So basically, what happened is because she was born early.
Yeah.
30, I think 35 weeks or so.
Yeah.
They decided to keep her in the hospital.
Yeah.
So we were going to visit, and then when I traveled to Ghana on the 14th of February, which is 2 weeks after she was born. Oh no, I was in Ghana just chilling, and then when I was going, I gave my mother's number to her, so just in case of anything, just let me know. And then she called and said, oh, like the government came and took the child and whatnot. And I was like, what do you mean? You know, obviously at that time I didn't know what the social services and all them things, their duties were. So and she wasn't really telling me a lot of things that were going on. So so I spoke to my mom, and she was like, you know what, you have to go back. Because I wanted to spend more time with my mom, because I hadn't seen her for like 9 years before that. So she asked me to come back, and then obviously I came back. So when I came back, that's when I actually found out that she wasn't going to the hospital to visit the child. So the social services actually had to get involved, because the nurses have to let them know that you know the mother hasn't been to the hospital and stuff like that. And according to the social workers, they said that she was telling them that she didn't want to see the child, she didn't want to feel like the child, she didn't feel like, you know, holding the child or feeding her. So obviously it's a big no-no to them. So they were like, okay, we can't give the child to you if this is what you're saying. So she could do anything could have happened, you know what I mean? And so they basically, you know, took the child, and she went to go and get this other guy that was supposed to be the father.
The other potential.
Yes. And then when he came, obviously the nurses were like, nah, we don't know this guy. Like he hasn't been here before. But he wasn't there because I had been there. I was there from the birth. From the birth, And obviously I was visiting them 2 weeks before I went to Ghana. So they were like, no, we don't know this guy. So it basically brought red light, like it was like, whoa, what is she playing at? You know what I'm trying to say? So they were like, no, this is red flag. So when I came and they told me all of that, the social service didn't even believe that I was obviously the dad or not, because they done a DNA test on the other guy and it came out negative.
Right, okay.
So
you knew from then 100% she was...
So, and obviously from the time she was born, when I saw her, I was like, nah, this is my daughter.
This is yours.
Because she looks exactly like my grandma. So when I saw her, I was like, listen, that's yours. I felt that in my spirit.
There's no DNA test.
Nah, I didn't need that. The spirit had already spoken to me, so I didn't need no DNA test. But obviously to be on the paper, for me to fight for her, that has to be done.
That has to be done, of course.
And then, so we went through that. The DNA test came, I think, a week later, and they said, that's my daughter. But for me to get her, we have to go through the court.
So the DNA test, was it bought or was it through the hospital?
No, the social service had to do it. Because they're not going to trust me to get somebody else to do it.
You can get one off eBay and
it's what I'm trying to say. So they wouldn't trust me on that because it's a very big thing. So they had to basically refer me to someone. So that's what they done, and so they didn't have no question in terms of is it legit or not? So because they done it themselves.
So what? So you were, I think I lost you there. So you were at the part where they took the DNA test and it was yours. The social services got involved. What did the social services do next?
So basically what they said was that, so I asked them, I was like, okay, cool. So now the DNA test is here. That's my daughter. So what's going on kind of thing. So to me, I was thinking, okay, they're going to just be like, okay, that's your daughter, take her. But it wasn't like that. I had to go through court. And, it wasn't easy because...
Why?
Because, I don't know, it's very hard for like a father to really get a custody, especially fighting with the mother.
Exactly. Usually they would give it more to
the mother.
To the mother.
So and then obviously the mother was still fighting to try and get custody, but they had already ruled her out. She was not gonna get the child
because of the neglection of the
and I think she was already on their system for some previous issues as well. So it was a big thing for her and a big blow for her, but it was a good thing for me because I really wanted to have my child, and for me to have my child and I'm going against the mother and they've already count her out. This is between me and the government now. So I felt like, okay, 50-50. If I do what I have to do, things are gonna go well. And so we went to court. We went back and forth for like...
How long did it... The whole process of court, how long was it?
It was like 6 months. 6 months,
Back
yeah.
and
So
forth.
yeah, and we have to go to court every single week.
For
So
6 months.
every single week, you know, and it's not a thing whereby the government is even going to be like, okay, we're going to support you in terms of like fighting
Yeah.
for your child now,
Yeah.
because I was working at that time, so they expect you to pay.
So it's
everything,
pretty much
yeah.
you versus the government. Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously they're not going to try, because they would rather have the child with them.
Yeah.
Regardless of how much they're going to tell a parent that we care about you and your family,
Yeah.
they don't come in there for the sake of their family. They actually
Yeah.
come in there for the child, because
Yeah.
they make more money having the kids with them.
Yeah.
They actually
Yes.
gain a lot
Yeah.
for having the child.
It's
with
actually
them
so
instead
messed
of-
up how
yeah.
the system works. And now that you're explaining this, I mean, I pretty much always knew, but hearing it from you,
Yeah.
it just honestly makes me sick. It makes
Yeah.
they make money off a child
Yes.
that's innocent.
That's how the
And
system
you know,
is made for.
you're a father fighting for
Full custody. Yeah.
So it's crazy. So
Yeah.
6 months. Like, how was when you went to court? Did the mother of the child have to come?
Yeah,
to
she
court
was.
with her?
They,
Yeah.
basically, what they didn't want her to have is have any excuse that they never gave her the chance to fight for the child.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
they'll argue to the proceeding,
Yeah.
but you're out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what she was doing, she knew that she wasn't gonna get a child. So she was gonna make life a bit hard for me, difficult for me to get
be
her.
a bit, spiteful.
Yeah.
about it.
So she was making up stories. She was lying about, me being, in a gang, everything, It was crazy, and they believed her. So they had to do an assessment on me. I had to provide how much I was making at that time, how I was able to pay for the whole lawyers and everything. I have to show to them, and it was really hard because imagine like you're working and I was doing night shift at that time in Primark, in Westfield. How much are you really gonna make?
Yeah.
And you have to use some of it for solicitors and everything. So
And you had to pay for that all yourself as
yeah,
well.
you had to. And the good thing was that they helped me in a way by they asked me if I want to pay installment.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that was
Not
what
paying.
helped a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they understood that this guy is
He's
not
trying.
he's not just.
I don't feel like that was good enough for them.
I had every excuse
Yeah.
to walk away.
Yeah, but you didn't.
You know what I'm saying? Because we have a lot of parents that like fathers that fighting to get their kids. They want to see them just one day.
Just
they
one
don't
day.
get that opportunity.
Yeah.
And this is someone that is fighting
Yeah.
to have full custody, and you
Yeah.
guys want to make life difficult.
Yeah.
So I think they were more thinking of what they benefit from and not
Yeah.
really the child. Because if the child can't go to the mother, why do you have to make it so difficult for the father to have the child?
Yeah.
So it went on for 6 months, and then it got to a point whereby they said to me, okay, if you wanna basically we're in custody now, you have to find a place. You have to move from where you were before.
From where you were before.
So thinking about
you was living by yourself.
yeah, at that time where I was living, the mother had to obviously come in
Yeah.
because she was pregnant and
Yeah.
I wanted to keep an eye, especially when you're saying it's 50-50. I have to make
Exactly.
sure my
Yeah.
side is actually done. So that's what happened. And when I was supposed to move out now, they can't give me the child if I don't have a
If you
place.
don't have a place to stay and it's not, child.
And they cannot give me a place if I don't have the child.
So you was pretty much stuck. Yeah.
So it got to that point where I had to fight harder.
Yeah.
So the good thing was that the lady, the judge, actually gave me a card. The last day, she gave me a card, and then she was like, go to the social services, go to them to give me a letter,
Yeah.
and attach it to what she gave me.
Yeah.
So I went to the council, and I think that was what pushed it a bit further for me. Yeah.
So she was quite. I guess she didn't really shut you down. She did sort of. Well, she was quite fair.
Yeah.
And help you a little.
Yeah.
and
No, the
things
judge was actually good. Like
Yeah.
she was so good because she realized that this boy is here every single week.
Yeah, and you've not missed one.
Listen, sometimes I'll finish
Working.
work and I'll go straight there and I'll be sitting on the bench sleeping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I don't want to miss the time
Yeah.
that the proceeding is going. Because if I turn up late, they're gonna be marking all of these things.
Yeah.
They watch your excitement to be there and
Yeah.
whatnot. I was very excited to be there.
And
for
you was
my
on
child.
time. You wasn't late.
Listen,
nothing.
I would sleep there if I had to. I would sleep there. Yeah.
That's literally it. So you just even when you know, it was 50-50 on whether the child was yours or not, you still loved her regardless.
Straight from there.
So tell me about the last day of court when they actually...
Yeah, so when the lady actually made this final decision, that was when they said to me to go and find a place. But before that decision was made, I think social service came now saying that, we think, you know, we have a question mark about his parental skills. So we want him to be booked on a parenting course. Yeah. But what they didn't know that, if you have waited for a whole 6 months, and you're telling me now, it doesn't make sense. So they wanted to drag it, because that course takes about 9 to 10 weeks. But what they didn't know that I had already done that.
Oh, okay.
I had already done that. The time that they were doing all it, I had already done it.
Yeah.
So when they said that, I was just sitting there laughing.
And
then the judge was like, "Excuse me, is there something?"
They were, so they were really impressed. Like, you know, I feel like they tried to get you, and then you were like, "Look, I've done it already."
100%.
So, you know, that probably brought shame to them.
Yeah. So what happened is that they then requested for that. So I had a certificate and everything, and I took it there the next day, and then they made the final decision.
They made the final decision. How did you feel when, you know, you gained full custody?
Listen, I was amazed.
Was she there? How was her face? Like, it was just...
The mom was really upset.
She was really upset.
She was upset because
she did try to be spiteful.
Yeah, and they wanted to put through thing for her. What is it called? Contact.
Right. Okay.
And then she was like, "Nah, I don't want to have no contact with him, because he's gonna make life difficult." So she wanted to arrange it through a family friend that was a social worker at that time. Yeah. And then when she made that agreement, the lady was not actually aware of it. Yeah. So when they finalized everything and they spoke to the lady, she was like, "No, I'm not gonna agree to that. You guys can't do something without my consent. So I'm not gonna actually do that," because they know how the lady is sometimes as well. So yeah, she definitely didn't want to do that. So that's why the mother can't really do anything, because the time that she had opportunity to arrange it with me personally, she didn't want to do that.
So has your daughter actually asked of like her mom?
Nah, because you know what? It's not a thing where she grew up with her. Yeah. If she grew up with her, then she would be asking. But she doesn't know her. Yeah. She's never met her. She doesn't know her.
Does she question about maybe like, you know?
There was a time.
Like if she goes to school.
There was a time that I think she got 100% attendance. Yeah. So we went to afternoon tea with the school and everything. So we went there, and then when we sat down, they were giving them the certificate now. Yeah. And then there was a boy that was sitting next to us. And I think the boy's parents were not in. Yeah. So I had to basically stick in for the boy. Yeah. And I sat the boy next to me. Oh, that's nice. So the boy was basically sitting on our table, and she went to get her certificate with the boy. And then when they sat down, the boy's parents were not there. So she was like, "Oh, give it to my dad to hold for you." And he was like, No, my mom is going to come and get me. And then she goes, I live with my dad, just me and my dad. Yeah. I don't have a mom. Yeah. So that kind of like cut me. It got me a bit emotional. Yeah. But every time I speak about it, that bit gets me a bit emotional. Yeah. But yeah, apart from that, it hit me, and I realized that, okay, she's actually growing now. Yeah. And she's gonna demand to know who her mother is.
I think eventually she's gonna, want to know about a mum or, her mum, because when she goes to school, when she goes to secondary school, she's gonna,
it's coming.
Want to know about
it's coming.
This. So I know you've prepared yourself.
It's coming. I actually know it's coming, and what's happening is that I always try to be fair to her. I don't hide anything from her. I let her know everything that's going on, even though she's young, but she's a very intelligent kid. Yeah. So sometimes just sit her down and just speak to her that.
Because you're both really close. I mean, also she's your handbag. You're really
she's
close.
My everything.
So
yeah, she's my everything.
So I know she would understand, and she trusts you, and I know that she loves you.
Yeah, yeah. So like, obviously at this age, she's 6 now.
Yeah. So there's only so much you can tell her, but when she does get older, you can
100%. I'm gonna open up to her. 100%. 100%.
So tell me, like, relationship wise, let's go to that sort of lay for a minute. So is it hard maybe like finding a girlfriend, relationship? Like,
to be honest, I wouldn't say it's hard, but I'm just hard on myself.
Right.
Because I've got a child now.
Yeah.
And I just don't want...
She's like, it's not like you pick her up and full custody.
She's with me 24/7.
24/7.
So you can't just be like, okay, I'm going to pick any girl just to be part of my life and my child's life. I have to put her first. So if I'm putting her first, I have to understand, okay, if I'm going to choose somebody, it has to be someone that's not going to just be there for me, but accept my child as well and love her as much as I do.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of like pushed me back a bit and just thought, you know, I'll just focus on her now and see when she gets to a certain age, then I can. That's the bit that she understands, you know, can talk to her and be like, okay, Ellie,
is she a jealous daughter? Like, when girls come next to you and she like, don't touch me.
She's done that once.
Oh,
she's done that once.
So she's protective. She's
very protective.
Yeah.
But obviously I had to speak to her and let her know that, okay, there's gonna be a time where Daddy's gonna have somebody, you know. So you don't feel too like I'm not gonna love you as much as I always do. So I think it made sense to her.
That is actually so amazing. So right now, are you single? Are you single?
Well, have you got someone for me then? Yeah.
Possibly. You don't know. If she approves.
Yeah.
She is quite protective.
100%. She ain't got no problem with that.
Yeah.
Like, listen, it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is.
That is
what it is, isn't it?
Like, it's actually so fascinating because literally whoever you meet, they like, if they're taking you, they're taking her.
Yeah, 100%.
You know? So,
100%.
You know, whoever that is, they need to prepare to be stepmommy because
you know, and I think sometimes like when someone hears stepmother, they panic.
But it's different the other way around because
I don't need a stepmother for her. I need a mother that will step up.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So because if you just get a stepmother, they can decide to go anytime.
Yeah, anytime.
The love that they have to show her, they ain't gonna do that.
Yeah.
Because they're thinking, that's not my child. But I need a mother to step up for her and just understand, okay, this is not my child, but I'm gonna love her as much. Because I'm not gonna have just her.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna have kids with that person. So if they're gonna love their kids and just leave my child, it's not gonna work. Because listen, she comes first. She comes first before anything else. Yeah. So even if I have kids with you, I'm gonna love all of them equally. Yeah. But if you cannot accept her, there's no relationship.
I hope you single fathers enjoyed that episode and most importantly, learned something new. So I'd like to say a massive thank you to Roland for sharing your story because I know it's not easy. So until next time, goodbye.